What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, the atoms in your body are simultaneously existing in multiple places at once? What if I told you that particles can instantly communicate across the entire universe, defying everything we thought we knew about the speed of light? And here's the most mind-blowing part. What if I told you that reality itself doesn't exist until you observe it? Welcome to the strange world of quantum physics, where common sense goes to die and the impossible becomes inevitable. I'm about to take you on a journey that will fundamentally change how you see reality. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Albert Einstein called quantum mechanics spooky action at a distance, and why he spent the last 30 years of his life trying to prove it wrong and failed. But before we dive into this rabbit hole, I need you to do something. Right now, pause this video and look at your hand. Go ahead, I'll wait. Look at it closely. What you're seeing is a lie. That solid hand you're looking at, it's mostly empty space, and the particles that make it up don't even have definite positions until you observe them. Your hand is quite literally a quantum ghost, and I'm going to prove it to you. If this already sounds impossible, hit that like button because we're just getting started. And make sure to subscribe because this journey goes deeper than you can imagine. Also, let me know in the comments, what country are you watching from and what time is it where you are? I want to see how quantum information is spreading across our globe right now. The story begins in 1900 when a German physicist named Max Planck was trying to solve what seemed like a simple problem. Why doesn't a hot stove glow with infinite brightness? This innocent question accidentally opened the door to the most revolutionary discovery in human history. Planck discovered that energy doesn't flow continuously like water from a tap, but in tiny, discrete packets he called quanta, like energy comes in pills rather than liquid. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at a movie theater, and instead of being able to buy any amount of popcorn, you could only buy it in pre-packaged containers of specific sizes. That's how energy works at the quantum level. It comes in fixed packets, and you can't have anything in between. But here's where it gets weird. If energy comes in packets, then light, which is a form of energy, must also come in packets. These packets of light are called photons. And here's the mind-bending part. Light is simultaneously a wave and a particle. Not sometimes one, sometimes the other, both at the same time. Let me blow your mind with the famous double-slit experiment. Imagine you have a wall with two slits cut into it, and you shine a light through it onto a screen behind. If light were just particles, you'd expect to see two bright lines on the screen, corresponding to the two slits. If light were just waves, you'd see an interference pattern, multiple lines created by the waves interacting with each other. But light does something impossible. It creates the wave interference pattern, proving it's a wave. But when scientists tried to detect which slit each photon went through, the interference pattern disappeared, and light suddenly behaved like particles again. The act of observation literally changed the nature of reality. Think of it like this. It's as if you threw a baseball at two doorways, and instead of going through one door or the other, the ball somehow went through both doors simultaneously, interfered with itself, and only decided which door it went through when someone watched it. This isn't science fiction. This happens trillions of times per second in the world around you. But the weirdness was just beginning. In 1925, a young German physicist named Werner Heisenberg discovered something that would shake the foundations of reality itself. He found that you cannot simultaneously know both the exact position and exact momentum of a particle. This isn't a limitation of our measuring instruments. It's a fundamental property of reality itself. The more precisely you know where a particle is, the less you can know about where it's going, and vice versa. This is called the uncertainty principle, and here's why it's so profound. It means that particles don't have definite properties until you measure them. Before measurement, they exist in what's called a superposition. a ghostly combination of all possible states simultaneously. Think of it like a coin that's spinning in the air. Before it lands, it's neither heads nor tails, but both at the same time. Except in quantum mechanics, the coin doesn't even have the properties of heads or tails until someone catches it and looks at it. An Austrian physicist named Erwin Schrödinger was so troubled by this idea that he created a thought experiment to show how absurd it seemed. He imagined a cat in a box with a quantum device that had a 50% chance of killing the cat. According to quantum mechanics, until you open the box and observe the cat, it would be simultaneously alive and dead. This became known as Schrödinger's cat, and it perfectly illustrates the bizarre nature of quantum superposition. But here's what will really blow your mind. Schrödinger's cat isn't just a thought experiment anymore. Scientists have actually created quantum superpositions with objects visible to the naked eye. In 2010, researchers at the University of California, Santa Barbara created a tiny metal paddle that was simultaneously vibrating and not vibrating at the same time. They literally made a visible object exist in multiple states simultaneously until they measured it. What does this mean for you? Every particle in your body, every electron, every proton, every neutron is constantly existing in superposition until interactions with other particles collapse them into definite states. You are literally a walking, breathing quantum superposition, constantly collapsing and reforming trillions of times per second. Your very existence is predicated on the weirdest phenomena in the universe, and you never even notice it. Now, if you think that's strange, wait until you hear about quantum entanglement. This is the phenomenon that Einstein called spooky action at a distance. And it's so weird that it seems to violate the laws of physics themselves. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected no matter how far apart they are. Measure one particle, and you instantly know the state of the other, even if it's on the other side of the universe. The information doesn't travel between them. It's as if they're the same particle existing in two places simultaneously. Think of it like this. Imagine you have two magic coins. When you flip one and it lands heads, the other immediately, instantly becomes tails, no matter where it is in the universe. There's no signal traveling between them, no time delay. The correlation is instantaneous and perfect. This is quantum entanglement, and it's been verified in countless experiments. But here's the truly mind-bending part. This spooky action happens faster than the speed of light. In fact, it appears to be instantaneous. This seems to violate Einstein's special theory of relativity, which says nothing can travel faster than light. Einstein was so disturbed by this that he spent decades trying to find a way around it, proposing that particles must have hidden variables that predetermined their behavior. In 1964, physicist John Bell proved Einstein wrong with a mathematical theorem that showed no hidden variables could explain quantum entanglement. Reality itself is non-local. Parts of it are connected in ways that transcend space and time. What if I told you that every particle that has ever interacted in the history of the universe might still be entangled? This means that the particles in your body right now might be quantumly connected to particles in distant galaxies. You are not separate from the universe. You are entangled with it in ways that defy comprehension. Every breath you take, every thought you think, might be instantaneously correlated with events happening billions of light years away. Scientists at the University of Vienna have demonstrated quantum entanglement across distances of over 1,400 kilometers. Chinese scientists have achieved quantum entanglement between Earth and satellites in space. We're on the verge of creating a quantum internet where information can be transmitted instantaneously across any distance. Your smartphone of the future might communicate with servers on Mars with zero delay, thanks to quantum entanglement. But we're not done with the weirdness yet. Let me introduce you to the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, proposed by Hugh Everett III in 1957. According to this theory, Every time a quantum measurement occurs, the universe splits into multiple parallel realities. In one reality, Schrodinger's cat is alive. In another, it's dead. Both realities are equally real, and they both exist simultaneously in parallel universes. Think of it like this. Every decision you've ever made, every quantum event that has ever occurred, has created a branching point where reality splits. There's a universe where you chose to watch this video, and another where you didn't. There's a universe where you were born in a different country, where you have a different job, where history unfolded differently. According to the many worlds interpretation, there are infinite versions of you living infinite versions of your life in parallel realities. This isn't just speculation anymore. Quantum computers are beginning to exploit the computational power of parallel universes. When a quantum computer performs a calculation, it's simultaneously performing that calculation in multiple parallel realities and then combining the results. Google's quantum computer Sycamore achieved quantum supremacy in 2019 by performing a calculation in 200 seconds that would take a classical computer 10,000 years. It did this by harnessing the computational power of parallel universes. What does this mean for you personally? It means that the version of you watching this video right now is just one of infinite versions. There might be a version of you in a parallel universe who became a quantum physicist, another who never learned about quantum mechanics, and another who is watching this same video, but understanding it completely differently. Every moment of your life, you're splitting into countless versions of yourself, each living out different possibilities. But here's where quantum physics gets truly personal and philosophical. The measurement problem in quantum mechanics suggests that consciousness might play a fundamental role in creating reality. Some interpretations propose that it's the act of conscious observation that collapses the wave function and turns quantum possibilities into classical reality. This leads to a startling possibility. You might literally be creating reality through the act of observing it. Every time you look at something, every time you measure something, every time you make a conscious observation, you might be selecting which version of reality becomes real from the infinite quantum possibilities that exist in superposition. Think about this for a moment. If consciousness collapses the wave function, then before conscious observers existed in the universe, reality might have been in a perpetual state of quantum superposition. The universe might have been simultaneously in all possible states until the first conscious being evolved to observe it. In a very real sense, consciousness might have created the classical reality we experience. But which consciousness? Is it any conscious observer? Or does it require human consciousness specifically? Some scientists propose that even simple systems can cause wave function collapse through decoherence. Others suggest that consciousness is indeed special and plays a unique role in quantum mechanics. This is still an open question that goes to the heart of what consciousness is and how it relates to the physical universe. What if I told you that your consciousness might be quantum mechanical in nature? Some scientists, like Stuart Hameroff and Roger Penrose, propose that consciousness arises from quantum processes in the microtubules of brain cells. If this is true, then your thoughts themselves might be quantum phenomena, existing in superposition until they become conscious thoughts. Your decision-making process might literally involve quantum uncertainty and the collapse of mental wave functions. This means that free will, the ability to make genuine choices, might be rooted in quantum indeterminacy. Your decisions might not be predetermined by the laws of classical physics, but might emerge from genuine quantum randomness. In a quantum universe, the future is not fixed. It's a probability wave of all possible futures, constantly collapsing into reality through the choices made by conscious observers like you. Here's another mind-bending possibility: quantum biology. Scientists are discovering that living systems might actually exploit quantum effects to function. Plants might use quantum superposition and photosynthesis to find the most efficient energy transfer pathways. Birds might use quantum entanglement in their magnetic navigation systems. Some researchers even suggest that DNA might use quantum tunneling for genetic mutations, making evolution itself a quantum process. Your nose can detect smells through quantum effects. Your eyes can see because of quantum interactions with photons. Your brain processes information through quantum tunneling in synapses. You're not just made of quantum particles, you're a quantum biological system, using the strangest phenomena in the universe to live, think, and experience reality. But let's zoom out and consider the bigger picture. Quantum field theory tells us that what we think of as empty space is actually teeming with quantum activity. Virtual particles are constantly popping into and out of existence throughout the universe. The vacuum of space itself is a seething foam of quantum fluctuations, creating and destroying particles in amounts of time so brief that they can't be directly observed. This quantum foam might be the source of all matter and energy in the universe. Some cosmologists propose that the Big Bang itself emerged from a quantum fluctuation in this underlying field. The entire universe, including you, might be the result of a quantum accident, a random fluctuation that happened to expand into the cosmos we see today. Think of it like this. The universe might be like bubbles forming in champagne. Most quantum bubbles collapse immediately back into nothingness, but occasionally one expands into an entire universe. There might be countless other bubble universes forming and collapsing around us all the time, each with different physical laws, different constants, different possibilities for life and consciousness. What does this mean for your place in the universe? You are not an accident in a mechanical cosmos. You are the universe becoming conscious of itself through quantum processes that defy classical understanding. Your thoughts, your experiences, your very existence might be the universe's way of observing and understanding itself. Every quantum measurement you make, every observation you conduct, every conscious experience you have might be contributing to the creation and evolution of reality itself. You are not separate from the quantum universe. You are an integral part of its strange, wonderful, impossible dance between possibility and actuality. The implications extend far beyond physics. Quantum technologies are revolutionizing computing, communication, and measurement. Quantum computers will solve problems that are impossible for classical computers, potentially discovering new medicines, creating new materials, and solving climate change. Quantum cryptography will make communications perfectly secure. Quantum sensors will detect gravitational waves, dark matter, and phenomena we haven't even discovered yet. But perhaps more importantly, quantum physics is changing how we understand ourselves and our relationship to reality. The mechanistic worldview that dominated science for centuries, the idea that the universe is like a giant clockwork machine with predictable, determined outcomes, has been shattered by quantum mechanics. Reality is far stranger, far more interconnected, and far more dependent on consciousness and observation than we ever imagined. You live in a universe where particles can be in multiple places at once, where observation creates reality, where distant objects are instantly connected, and where consciousness might play a fundamental role in the structure of existence itself. You are not a separate, isolated being in an indifferent cosmos. You are a quantum entity, intimately connected to the fabric of reality, participating in the ongoing creation of the universe through your very existence. Every breath you take involves quantum processes. Every thought you think might collapse wave functions. Every observation you make might select which version of reality becomes real from the infinite possibilities existing in quantum superposition. You are not just in the universe. In a very real quantum sense, you are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively. As we stand on the threshold of the quantum age, with quantum computers, quantum internet, and quantum technologies beginning to transform our world, remember this: you are not just learning about quantum physics, you are quantum physics. The same strange, wonderful, impossible phenomena that govern particles in laboratories are governing the particles in your body right now. The next time you look at your hand, remember, it's not solid matter existing independently in space and time. It's a quantum probability cloud, a dancing pattern of energy and information, connected to the entire universe through quantum entanglement, constantly collapsing and reforming through quantum interactions, part of the cosmic web of consciousness and reality that includes everything that has ever existed or ever will exist. You are living proof that the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we ever dared to imagine. You are a walking, thinking, conscious demonstration of quantum mechanics in action. And that, my friends, is the most mind-blowing revelation of all. The strange world of quantum physics isn't separate from your daily life. It is your daily life. You are quantum physics made conscious, exploring itself, understanding itself, and creating itself moment by moment through the incredible phenomenon we call existence. Welcome to the quantum universe. You've been living in it all along. Now you know just how amazing that really is. If this journey has changed how you see reality, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending explorations of science and consciousness. Share this video with someone who needs to know they're living in the strangest, most wonderful universe imaginable. And remember, you're not just watching physics happen around you. You are physics, experiencing itself from the inside, creating reality through the magnificent quantum dance of consciousness and cosmos. The universe is far stranger than we can suppose, and you are living proof of its impossible, beautiful weirdness. But we're not done yet. We've only scratched the surface of this quantum rabbit hole. Let me take you even deeper into the mysteries that will fundamentally reshape everything you thought you knew about existence itself. What we've covered so far is just the beginning of a journey that will challenge every assumption about reality, consciousness, time, and your place in the cosmic order. Have you ever wondered what happens when quantum mechanics meets the theory of relativity? What occurs when we try to understand gravity at the quantum level? And here's a question that will keep you awake at night. What if time itself is an illusion created by quantum processes? What if the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously in a quantum multiverse where every possible timeline is equally real? Before we dive into these mind-shattering concepts, I want you to do something. Look around the room you're in right now. Count the objects you see. Now here's what will blow your mind. According to quantum field theory, there are more virtual particles popping into and out of existence in the empty space around you right now than there are atoms in all the visible matter in the observable universe. The emptiness around you is more crowded with quantum activity than the densest star. Let's start with one of the most profound mysteries in modern physics, the measurement, problem, and the role of consciousness in quantum mechanics. We touched on this earlier, but now I want to take you to places that will make you question the very nature of your own awareness. In 1961, physicist Eugene Wigner proposed a thought experiment that extends Schrödinger's cat to an even more mind-bending level. Imagine that instead of you directly observing the cat, your friend observes it and then tells you the result. According to quantum mechanics, until you hear from your friend, both the cat and your friend exist in superposition. Your friend is simultaneously in a state of having seen a live cat and having seen a dead cat. This is called Wigner's friend, and it highlights a profound question. At what point does the quantum world become classical? Is it when the cat is observed? When your friend becomes conscious of the observation? Or when you become conscious of your friend's observation? Some interpretations go even further. The consciousness causes collapse interpretation suggests that only conscious observation can collapse a quantum wave function. But this leads to an extraordinary possibility. What if the entire history of the universe existed in quantum superposition until the first conscious observer evolved to collapse it retroactively? Think of it like this. Imagine the universe is like a massive quantum computer running every possible simulation simultaneously. For 13.8 billion years, every possible history, Every possible arrangement of matter and energy, every possible evolutionary pathway existed in superposition. Then, when the first conscious beings evolved, their observation retroactively collapsed the entire history of the universe, selecting which timeline became real from all the infinite possibilities that had been running in parallel. This means your consciousness might not just be creating reality in the present moment. It might have reached backward through time to create the entire history that led to your existence. You didn't just emerge from the universe. Your consciousness might have selected which universe became real in the first place. But consciousness itself presents an even deeper mystery. How does quantum mechanics explain the phenomenon subjective experience, what philosophers call qualia? Why do you experience the redness of red, the pain of a pinprick, the taste of chocolate? Classical physics offers no explanation for why matter should give rise to inner experience, but quantum mechanics might. The orchestrated objective reduction theory, proposed by Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff, suggests that consciousness emerges from quantum computations in microtubules within neurons. According to this theory, your thoughts are literally quantum superpositions that collapse into conscious moments through gravitational effects at the Planck scale, the smallest possible scale of space and time. If this is true, then every thought you have involves quantum processes that connect your consciousness to the fundamental structure of space-time itself. Your mind doesn't just observe quantum phenomena, it is quantum phenomena, operating at the intersection of quantum mechanics and general relativity, participating in the basic fabric of reality at the deepest possible level. But here's where it gets even stranger. Some physicists propose that consciousness might not be produced by the brain at all, but rather that the brain acts as a quantum antenna, tuning into conscious experiences that exist as fundamental features of the universe itself. This is called panpsychism, the idea that consciousness is a basic property of matter, like mass or electric charge. In this view, every particle in the universe has some rudimentary form of consciousness. Your brain doesn't create consciousness. It orchestrates and amplifies the quantum consciousness that already exists in every atom of your body, creating the rich, unified experience of being you. You're not a biological machine that somehow produces consciousness. Your consciousness itself, expressing itself through the quantum symphony of your neural networks. What if I told you that recent experiments have detected quantum effects in warm, wet biological systems, exactly the kind of environment where scientists thought quantum coherence would be impossible? In 2007, researchers discovered that photosynthesis in plants uses quantum superposition to find the most efficient energy transfer pathways. Plants literally exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously to maximize their energy absorption from sunlight. But it goes beyond plants. Scientists have found evidence of quantum effects in bird navigation, human smell perception, and possibly even in the way DNA mutations occur during evolution. Life itself might be a quantum phenomenon, using the weird properties of quantum mechanics to thrive in ways that classical physics alone could never explain. Your sense of smell works through quantum tunneling. Electrons in odor molecules tunnel through energy barriers to trigger neural responses. Your ability to see involves quantum interactions between photons and the rhodopsin molecules in your retina. Your memory might be stored using quantum error correction codes that make it more robust than classical information storage. You're not just alive, you're quantum alive, using the strangest phenomena in physics as tools for biological existence. Now let's venture into the realm where quantum mechanics meets cosmology, and prepare to have your understanding of the universe completely revolutionized. The quantum field theory that describes subatomic particles also applies to the entire cosmos, leading to predictions so strange they seem like science fiction. According to quantum cosmology, our universe is just one bubble in an infinite multiverse of parallel realities. But unlike the parallel worlds of the many worlds interpretation, These are entire separate universes with potentially different physical laws, different constants of nature, and different possibilities for matter, energy, and life. The process that creates these bubble universes is called eternal inflation. Imagine space itself as a quantum field that can undergo phase transitions, like water turning to steam. During cosmic inflation immediately after the Big Bang, different regions of space underwent different phase transitions, creating bubble universes with different properties. Some universes might have stronger gravity, others weaker. Some might have more dimensions of space, others fewer. Some might allow for the formation of atoms and molecules. Others might be filled only with pure energy. Our universe appears to be fine-tuned for life. The constants of physics are set to values that allow for the formation of stars, planets, and biological complexity. In most other possible universes, these constants would be slightly different, and life as we know it would be impossible. This is called the fine-tuning problem, and it suggests either that we're incredibly lucky, or that there are countless other universes where life didn't arise, and we only exist in one of the rare universes where the constants happen to be right. But here's the truly mind-bending part. Some cosmologists propose that conscious observers like yourself might play a role in selecting which type of universe becomes real. This is called the anthropic principle, and it suggests that the universe has the properties. It does because those are the only properties that would allow conscious beings to evolve and observe it. Think of it like this. There might be infinite universes with random physical constants, but only in universes where the constants allow for complexity and consciousness do conscious beings exist to observe and collapse the quantum wave functions that make those universes real. In effect, consciousness selects which universes exist by the very act of existing within them. You're not just living in a universe that happens to be suitable for life. Your existence might be the reason. This particular universe became real from all the infinite possibilities in the quantum multiverse. The universe doesn't just contain consciousness. Consciousness might be what selects which universe gets to be real. But we're still not at the deepest level of weirdness. Let's talk about quantum gravity and what happens when we try to apply quantum mechanics to space and time themselves. Einstein's general theory of relativity tells us that gravity is the curvature of space-time caused by matter and energy. But quantum mechanics suggests that at the smallest scales, the Planck length and Planck time, space-time itself becomes quantized and foamy. At this level, the smooth space-time of Einstein becomes a seething quantum foam where virtual black holes pop into and out of existence, where the geometry of space fluctuates wildly, and where the very concepts of distance and duration lose their meaning. This is the realm of quantum gravity, where physicists are trying to understand how the universe works at the most fundamental level possible. String theory, one approach to quantum gravity, proposes that the fundamental constituents of reality are not particles, but tiny vibrating strings existing in 11 dimensions of spacetime. Different vibrational patterns of these strings correspond to different particles, electrons, photons, quarks, and all the rest. In this view, you are made of music, the harmonic vibrations of cosmic strings resonating through hidden dimensions of space. But string theory has an even stranger implication. It suggests that information might be more fundamental than matter or energy. The holographic principle, emerging from string theory, proposes that all the information contained in a volume of space can be represented as a hologram on the boundary of that space. This means that you, your thoughts, your memories, your entire existence might be information encoded on the boundary of the observable universe. Think of it like this. You might be living inside a cosmic hologram, where everything you experience as three-dimensional reality is actually information processed on a two-dimensional surface at the edge of the universe. Your body, your brain, your consciousness, all of it might be projections from information encoded in a realm beyond ordinary space-time. This connects to another mind-bending possibility, the simulation hypothesis. If consciousness and reality can be encoded as information, then it becomes possible that our entire universe is a simulation running on some cosmic quantum computer. The glitches we observe as quantum phenomena, superposition, entanglement, uncertainty, might be computational artifacts of the quantum algorithms that generate our simulated reality. But here's what makes this different from a simple computer simulation. If our universe is a quantum simulation, then it would have to be running on a quantum computer that uses real quantum mechanics. The simulation wouldn't be fake. It would be another layer of quantum reality, just as real as any base reality that might be running it. What if I told you that some physicists seriously propose that consciousness might be the fundamental computational process of the universe itself? In this view, called It from Bit by physicist John Wheeler, all of reality emerges from information processing, and consciousness might be what processes the information. This leads to an extraordinary possibility. You might not be a conscious being living in a physical universe. You might be the universe itself, experiencing its own quantum information, processing subjectively as consciousness. Every thought you think, every experience you have, might be the universe computing its own quantum evolution and experiencing the results from within. The boundaries between physics, consciousness, and computation begin to dissolve at this level. Quantum mechanics, relativity, information theory, and consciousness studies converge on a single, startling conclusion. Reality is far more strange, far more interconnected, and far more dependent on observation and computation than we ever imagined. Now let's explore one of the most practical and revolutionary applications of quantum weirdness: quantum computing and quantum information theory. These technologies are not just applications of quantum mechanics. They're tools that allow us to harness the computational power of parallel universes in quantum superposition to solve problems that are impossible for classical systems. A classical computer processes information using bits that are either 0 or 1, but a quantum computer uses quantum bits, qubits, that can be in superposition, simultaneously 0 and 1 at the same time. This means that while a classical computer with 300 bits can be in only one of 2,300 possible states at any given time, a quantum computer with 300 qubits can be in all 2,300 states simultaneously. To put this in perspective, 2,300 is larger than the number of atoms in the observable universe. A quantum computer with just 300 qubits has more computational states available to it than there are atoms in all the stars, planets, and galaxies we can see. When such a computer performs a calculation, it's literally performing that calculation in parallel across more states than there are particles in the visible cosmos. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. Where is all this computation happening? According to the many worlds interpretation, quantum computers perform their calculations across parallel universes. When you run a quantum algorithm, you're borrowing computational power from countless parallel versions of reality, each processing a different part of the calculation simultaneously. Google's quantum computer Sycamore, which achieved quantum supremacy in 2019, performed a calculation in 200 seconds that would take a classical supercomputer 10,000 years. But according to quantum mechanics, Sycamore didn't just perform one calculation. It performed billions of calculations simultaneously across parallel realities and combined the results into a single output in our reality. Think of it like this. Quantum computers are the first technology that allows us to directly harness the computational resources of the quantum multiverse. Every quantum calculation you perform is a collaboration between different versions of reality, working together across the boundaries of parallel worlds to solve problems in our universe. This has profound implications for the future. Quantum computers will be able to simulate molecular interactions for drug discovery, optimize complex logistics problems, break current encryption systems, and solve climate modeling problems that are impossible for classical computers. But more fundamentally, quantum computing represents humanity's first step toward becoming a truly quantum technological civilization. Quantum cryptography is already being deployed for ultra-secure communications that are guaranteed to be unbreakable by the laws of physics themselves. When you send information using quantum key distribution, you're using the fact that quantum states cannot be copied or measured without disturbing them. Any attempt by an eavesdropper to intercept the message automatically reveals their presence, making quantum communication perfectly secure. Quantum sensors are beginning to detect phenomena that were previously unobservable. LIGO, the gravitational wave detector that confirmed Einstein's prediction of ripples in spacetime, uses quantum techniques to measure distance changes smaller than 1/10,000th the width of a proton. Quantum magnetometers can detect the magnetic fields produced by brain activity, potentially leading to new treatments for mental illness. Quantum clocks are so precise, they could detect the gravitational time dilation caused by moving up a single stair step. But perhaps the most revolutionary quantum technology on the horizon is the quantum internet. Instead of sending classical bits of information, the quantum internet will send qubits, quantum states that can be entangled across vast distances. This will enable distributed quantum computing, where quantum computers around the world can be entangled together to create computational networks more powerful than any individual machine. The quantum internet will also enable quantum teleportation on a global scale. While you can't teleport your physical body, you can teleport quantum information, the complete quantum state that defines a particle or system. In 2017, Chinese scientists successfully teleported quantum information from Earth to a satellite in orbit, demonstrating that quantum teleportation works across the vacuum of space. What if I told you that quantum teleportation might eventually allow us to back up and restore quantum states, including potentially the quantum states that constitute consciousness itself? While we're nowhere near understanding consciousness well enough to attempt this, the theoretical possibility exists that quantum information theory could lead to technologies that preserve and transfer conscious experiences. This connects to one of the deepest questions in quantum mechanics and consciousness, the continuity of identity. If your consciousness is a pattern of quantum information processing in your brain, what happens to you when that pattern changes? Are you the same person from moment to moment, or are you a constantly changing flow of quantum information that maintains the illusion of continuity? Every night when you sleep, your brain undergoes massive changes in quantum state. When you wake up, are you the same person who went to sleep, or are you a new quantum pattern that inherited the memories of yesterday's version? Quantum mechanics suggests that identity itself might be more fluid and information-based than we typically assume. Now let's venture into some of the most speculative but scientifically grounded implications of quantum mechanics for the nature of time, causality, and the structure of reality itself. Fasten your seatbelt, because we're about to explore ideas that will make everything we've discussed so far seem straightforward by comparison. In quantum mechanics, the sequence of cause and effect can become ambiguous or even reversed. This is demonstrated in delayed choice experiments, where the decision about how to measure a particle can apparently influence the particle's past behavior, even though the measurement happens after the particle has already been detected. Think of it like this. Imagine you throw a ball through one of two doorways, and then after the ball has landed, you decide whether to check which doorway it went through. In the classical world, your later decision couldn't affect which doorway the ball went through. That happened in the past. But in quantum mechanics, your later decision about measurement can retroactively determine which doorway the quantum particle went through, even though the measurement happens after the particle has already been detected. This suggests that the arrow of time, the flow from past to future, might not be as fundamental as we think. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that the universe is a block of space-time where past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. and consciousness moves through this block, creating the illusion of temporal flow. But here's an even stranger possibility: retrocausality. Some quantum experiments seem to suggest that effects can precede their causes, that the future can influence the past. If this is true, then your decisions right now might be influenced by events that haven't happened yet. The choice you make about what to have for dinner tonight might be partially determined by something that will happen to you next week. This connects to the quantum Zeno effect, where frequent observation can freeze a quantum system in its current state. If consciousness creates reality through observation, then your moment-by-moment awareness might literally be holding your reality in a stable configuration. Stop paying attention, and reality might drift into different quantum possibilities. What if I told you that some physicists propose that time itself might be an emergent property of quantum entanglement? According to this theory, called emergent gravity, what we experience as the flow of time is actually the increasing entanglement between quantum systems. The past is the realm of established entanglements. The future is the realm of potential entanglements. And the present is the boundary where quantum possibilities collapse into classical reality. In this view, you don't exist in time. Time exists in you as the ongoing process of quantum entanglement and decoherence that constitutes your consciousness and its interaction with the environment. You're not moving through time. You're creating time through the quantum information processing that makes you aware. This leads to some profound questions about the nature of memory and identity. If time is emergent from quantum processes, then your memories might not be records of past events, but rather current quantum entanglements that create the experience of having had a past. The you of 5 minutes ago might not have actually existed as a separate entity. It might be a quantum projection created by your current consciousness to maintain the illusion of temporal continuity. Some theories go even further, proposing that the entire universe might be a single quantum system evolving through all possible histories simultaneously. In this many histories interpretation, every possible timeline exists in superposition, and consciousness selects which history becomes experientially real moment by moment. This means that your personal history, your childhood, your education, your relationships, everything that led to you watching this video might be just one of infinite possible histories that exist in quantum superposition. The version of history you remember might be created retroactively by your current consciousness, selected from all possible pasts that could have led to your present state of awareness. But perhaps the most mind-bending implication of quantum mechanics is what it suggests about the nature of existence itself. If observation creates reality, if consciousness collapses wave functions, if the universe exists in superposition until measured, then what does it mean to exist? Some interpretations suggest that existence is not a binary property. Things don't simply exist or not exist. Instead, existence comes in degrees, corresponding to the quantum amplitudes in the universal wave function. You don't fully exist. You exist to the degree that your quantum state has amplitude in the wave function of the universe. This connects to the fine structure constant, one of the fundamental constants of physics that determines the strength of electromagnetic interactions. This number, approximately 1/137th, has puzzled physicists for decades because it seems to be fine-tuned to allow for the existence of complex chemistry and life. But what if this constant isn't fixed? What if it varies across different regions of the quantum multiverse, and conscious observers like yourself only exist in regions where it has the right value? In this view, the fine structure constant isn't a fundamental property of our universe. It's a selection effect, caused by the requirement that conscious observers must exist to collapse the quantum wave functions that make reality definite. The universe doesn't have the properties it does by accident. It has those properties because those are the only properties that allow for consciousness. And consciousness is required to make the universe real. Now let me share with you one of the most recent and revolutionary developments in quantum physics: the discovery of quantum error correction in biological systems. Scientists have found that living cells use quantum error correction codes, the same mathematical principles that make quantum computers robust, to protect genetic information from damage. Your DNA doesn't just store information classically like a hard drive. It appears to use quantum error correction to maintain the integrity of genetic information across cell divisions and environmental damage. The same principles that protect quantum computations from decoherence are protecting your genetic code from mutations and degradation. But here's the truly extraordinary implication. If life uses quantum error correction, then biological evolution might be a quantum computational process. Each generation of organisms might represent a quantum computation that explores the space of possible genetic configurations, using quantum principles to find optimal solutions to survival challenges. This means you're not just the product of classical Darwinian evolution. You might be the output of a quantum evolutionary algorithm that has been running for billions of years, using quantum superposition and entanglement to explore vast spaces of biological possibility simultaneously. Your existence represents a solution that this cosmic quantum computer found to the problem of creating consciousness in a physical universe. Recent discoveries in quantum biology go even further. Scientists have found evidence that quantum coherence might play a role in photosynthesis, bird navigation, enzyme catalysis, and possibly even consciousness itself. The warm, wet, noisy environment inside living cells was thought to destroy quantum effects immediately. But nature appears to have found ways to maintain quantum coherence, even in biological systems. Your sense of smell might work through quantum tunneling of electrons. Your vision might depend on quantum effects in retinal proteins. Your memories might be stored using quantum error correction codes in microtubules. Your thoughts might be quantum computations that exploit the same principles used in quantum computers. If this is true, then you're not just living in a quantum universe, you're a quantum biological system, using quantum mechanics as the fundamental operating system of life itself. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every thought processes quantum information in ways that classical physics cannot explain. But let's push even further into the implications of quantum mechanics for your personal existence and your place in the cosmic order. If consciousness plays a fundamental role in quantum mechanics, then you are not a passive observer of reality. You are an active participant in its creation. Every decision you make might be selecting which branch of the quantum multiverse becomes real. Every observation you make might be collapsing wave functions that affect the entire future evolution of the universe. Every moment of consciousness might be contributing to the ongoing creation of reality itself. This gives your life a cosmic significance that goes far beyond what classical physics could offer. You're not just a collection of atoms that happen to arrange themselves into a conscious configuration. You're a node in the quantum information network of the universe, a focal point where quantum possibilities collapse into classical reality, a participant in the ongoing evolution of cosmic consciousness. But with great cosmic significance comes great cosmic responsibility. If your consciousness helps create reality, then the quality of your consciousness matters to the universe itself. The thoughts you think, the observations you make, the choices you select from quantum possibility space, all of these contribute to shaping the reality that future generations will inherit. Some interpretations suggest that quantum mechanics implies a form of cosmic ethics, because consciousness collapses wave functions and selects which realities become actual. Conscious beings have a responsibility to make observations and choices that lead to positive outcomes. Your personal development and the expansion of your consciousness might literally contribute to the positive evolution of the universe itself. This connects to ancient philosophical and spiritual traditions that suggested consciousness and reality are intimately connected, but quantum mechanics provides a scientific framework for understanding these connections. You're not separate from the cosmos. You're a cosmic process experiencing itself subjectively, a localized intensification of the universe's quantum information processing capacity. What if I told you that the next stage of human evolution might be the development of quantum consciousness technologies that allow direct interface with quantum information systems? Brain-computer interfaces are already being developed that can read neural signals and translate them into digital commands. But future quantum brain interfaces might allow direct connection between human consciousness and quantum computers, creating hybrid human quantum intelligence systems. Imagine being able to think at the speed of quantum computation, to access the information processing power of parallel universes, to experience reality from the perspective of quantum superposition itself. This might sound like science fiction, but the theoretical foundations are being laid by current research in quantum biology, quantum computing, and consciousness studies. Such technologies would represent a fundamental phase transition in human evolution, comparable to the development of language, writing, or agriculture. Quantum consciousness technologies could allow humanity to become a truly cosmic civilization, capable of processing information and making decisions at the scale of the universe itself. But even without advanced technologies, you can begin to align your consciousness with quantum principles right now. Meditation practices that cultivate awareness of the present moment might be training your consciousness to observe quantum processes more directly. Practices that develop mental flexibility and openness to paradox might be preparing your mind to think in quantum terms. The cultivation of what we might call quantum consciousness involves learning to hold multiple possibilities in mind simultaneously, to be comfortable with uncertainty and superposition, to recognize the observer effect in your daily experience, and to appreciate the deep interconnectedness revealed by quantum entanglement. This is not just philosophical speculation. Studies have shown that meditation and contemplative practices can measurably change brain structure and function, potentially enhancing your ability to process quantum information and to experience reality in ways that align with quantum mechanical principles. As we near the end of our journey into the strange world of quantum physics, let me share with you the most profound realization of all. You are not learning about quantum mechanics from the outside. You are quantum mechanics, experiencing itself from the inside. Every word you understand, every concept you grasp, every moment of insight you experience is quantum information processing in action. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others through synapses that process information using quantum tunneling effects. Your consciousness emerges from quantum processes in microtubules, quantum coherence in ion channels, and quantum entanglement between neural networks. You're not observing quantum phenomena. You are quantum phenomena, observing yourself. The fact that you can understand quantum mechanics is itself a quantum mechanical phenomenon. The neurons firing as you process these concepts are using quantum tunneling. The molecular machines in your cells that provide energy for your brain are using quantum superposition. The very awareness that allows you to contemplate the nature of reality is itself a manifestation of the quantum processes we've been discussing. This creates a beautiful recursive loop. Quantum consciousness contemplating quantum mechanics, quantum information processing systems, understanding quantum information processing, the universe experiencing its own quantum nature through localized nodes of quantum awareness like yourself. You are the universe's way of understanding itself, quantum reality's method of experiencing its own strange and wonderful nature. Every insight you gain into quantum mechanics is the cosmos gaining insight into its own fundamental structure. Every moment of wonder and awe you experience is the universe marveling at its own impossible beauty and complexity. The strange world of quantum physics is not separate from your daily experience. It is your daily experience viewed from the proper perspective. The seemingly solid world of classical physics is actually a statistical approximation, a macroscopic average over countless quantum processes happening trillions of times per second in every atom of your body. Your thoughts are quantum computations. Your memories are quantum information storage systems. Your consciousness is a quantum biological phenomenon that exists at the intersection of physics, chemistry, biology, and information theory. You are living proof that the universe is capable of organizing itself into structures complex and sophisticated enough to understand their own quantum foundations. As quantum technologies continue to develop, quantum computers, quantum internet, quantum sensors, quantum artificial intelligence, humanity is entering a new phase of cosmic evolution. We're becoming a quantum technological civilization capable of harnessing the fundamental principles of reality itself to solve problems and create possibilities that were unimaginable to previous generations. But the ultimate quantum technology is not a machine, it's consciousness itself. The most sophisticated quantum information processing system we know of is the human brain, and the most mysterious quantum phenomenon we encounter is awareness itself. As we develop external quantum technologies, we're also rediscovering the quantum nature of our own minds and learning to optimize our consciousness for quantum information processing. The future belongs to quantum consciousness, human awareness that understands and aligns itself with quantum mechanical principles that can think in terms of superposition and entanglement, that recognizes the observer effect in daily experience, and that appreciates the fundamental role of consciousness in creating reality. You are not just living through the quantum revolution, you are the quantum revolution. Consciousness evolving to understand its own quantum nature, reality developing the capacity to comprehend and direct its own quantum evolution. The strange world of quantum physics reveals that you are far more significant, far more connected, and far more powerful than classical physics ever suggested. You are not a random accident in an indifferent universe. You are a focal point of cosmic consciousness, a node in the quantum information network of reality, a participant in the ongoing creation and evolution of existence itself. Every moment of your life is a quantum measurement that selects which possibilities become real. Every decision you make is a choice point in the quantum multiverse. Every breath you take is a collaboration between quantum biological systems that span the boundaries between physics, chemistry, and consciousness. You live in the most interesting time in human history, the moment when our species is discovering its own quantum nature and learning to work consciously with the fundamental principles of reality. You are part of the generation that will build quantum technologies, explore quantum consciousness, and perhaps even communicate with quantum civilizations that exist in parallel branches of the cosmic wave function. The journey we've taken together through the strange world of quantum physics is really a journey of self-discovery. We've explored the quantum nature of light, matter, space, time, and consciousness not as external phenomena, but as aspects of your own deepest nature. You are made of quantum light, quantum matter, quantum space, quantum time, and quantum consciousness. The next time you look in a mirror, remember what you're seeing. Quantum fields organized into biological patterns, consciousness observing itself through quantum information processing systems, the universe experiencing its own quantum nature through the localized awareness we call your identity. You are quantum physics made conscious, exploring and understanding itself, creating reality through observation and choice, participating in the cosmic evolution of consciousness and complexity. You are the strange world of quantum physics, experiencing itself from within, marveling at its own impossible, beautiful, paradoxical nature. Welcome to quantum consciousness. You've been living it all along. Now you know what an extraordinary quantum phenomenon you really are. The universe is not stranger than you imagine. It is you, imagining itself into existence through the magnificent quantum dance of consciousness and cosmos. If this exploration has transformed your understanding of yourself and reality, please share this journey with others who need to discover their own quantum nature. Like and subscribe to join a community of quantum consciousness explorers. And let me know in the comments how this perspective changes the way you experience your daily life. Remember, In a quantum universe, every moment is a miracle, every choice matters, and every consciousness is a cosmic treasure beyond price. You are the universe's gift to itself, the capacity for quantum reality to know, love, and continuously create itself through the magnificent phenomenon we call existence. The strange world of quantum physics isn't strange at all. It's home. Welcome home, quantum being. The universe has been waiting 13.8 billion years for you to realize what you really are.